You will not believe what's reportedly going on behind the scenes in the Harris family. Rumors are flowing around social media, fan blogs, and unsubstantiated insider leaks. And if even half of it is real, Yandy Smith is done playing the devoted wife, because according to speculations from numerous love and hip-hop pages and a few extremely suspicious DM leaks, Yandy may have just discovered on something no wife should ever see: private text chats between her husband Mendeecees and Erica Mena. And thought not this disaster again. Hear us out. Reports say Yandy wasn't even spying the messages, apparently turned up on a shared iCloud account attached to a disposable phone. Mendeecees neglected to unplug. Fans are assuming that what she saw in those texts was enough to shatter the entire Frost Breeze FA of their so-called mended marriage. Screenshots have yet to be confirmed, but the rumors are flying wild, and so are fans. One insider says Yandy's reaction was caught on a Ring camera, and what she did next left the entire home startled silence. This might be the moment that ends everything. Stay tuned, because if this is real, it's only the beginning. The sun had barely risen over Atlanta when murmurs began to swirl, not from blogs this time, but from those close to the set. They whispered something went down Yandy's house, something that broke her typically collected demeanor. It wasn't a fight. No one was shouting anyhow. It was a revelation. One silent moment that made Yandy's hands tremble and everything she thought she knew about Mendeecees fall in real time. The kind of treachery that doesn't need ranting. It just needs proof, and apparently she found it. It started like any other morning coffee, with her kids giggling in the background and Mendeecees headed off for a meeting, phone in hand. But what he didn't know and no one expected was that he left the phone by mistake. It buzzed twice behind Yandy, who was already in her robe. She wasn't attempting to snoop. She just believed it was a message from his assistant or a reminder about his schedule. But what she saw was a preview notification from a contact saved as M, and the message read, "You really think she doesn't suspect anything?" Yandy froze. Her first instinct wasn't even jealousy, but confusion. Why would someone text her husband? She opened the thread, and that's when the world she'd made surrounding loyalty and public image crumbled like glass. Late night confessions. One text said, "I miss the way you used to talk to me before you went back to pretending." Another wrote, "Yandy is not your future, I was." The more Yandy scrolled, the deeper the wound cut, and then she saw it, a photo, not scandalous, not explicit, but private, a selfie of Mans in what appeared to be a hotel room, time-stamped from a weekend he claimed to be in New York visiting his cousin, and Erica reacted with a heart emoji. That was all. That was enough. For a minute, Yandy just sat there frozen, her thoughts playing catch-up with what her eyes were seeing. The room around her faded. All the family photographs on the walls, the framed memories, the presents he'd given hers, they all felt artificial, crafted like a scene, a show she never agreed to star in. She didn't cry immediately away. Instead, she walked to the living room, sat down, and called her sister. Her voice was calm but hollow. "I need you to come over now." Within 30 minutes, the house was filled with tension. Her sister arrived confused and frightened, and all Yandy did was gave her the phone. No words, just the gadget that housed her heartbreak. Her sister's face transformed from amazement to wrath in seconds. "Girl, you need to go live right now and let everyone know who this man is." But Yandy wasn't there yet. Her instinct intended not to respond publicly this time. Instead, she waited for Mendeecees to return. When he went through the door 2 hours later, Yandy was there, seated at the kitchen table, the phone screen still lit. He knew immediately. He looked at the table, saw the text, and "So this is what we're doing now?" she questioned, her voice quiet but tense as she texted Erica, "She's your first love, and I'm your side character." Mendeecees sputtered. "Then tell me what it is," Yandy shouted, "because from where I'm sitting it appears that the man I married has been sneaking behind my back with a lady who's made it her mission to disgrace me publicly." He tried to explain that they were only conversing, that he never crossed, and he realized that it was all emotional, but Yandy wasn't buying it. "Do you think emotional betrayal doesn't count? Do you think flirting with your ex while sleeping next to me every night is less terrible because you didn't touch her?" The quiet was loud. Their kids were upstairs. The house that once housed laughter was now resounding with disappointment. "I defended you," Yandy said, tears finally forming in her eyes. "When the world called you a liar, a manipulator, a cheater, I responded. They didn't know as I did, but maybe they knew you better than I wanted to admit." Mendeecees remained silent. What could he say? He knew he was caught, and worse, he knew Erica might have leaked this herself. Meanwhile, news had already started, spreading online among fans who had been watching. Yandy's Instagram noticed the sudden change. Cryptic quotes were erased, and a handful of photographs were deleted. Her management page went quiet, and blogs speculated whether Yandy was done with Mendeecees for good. One headline read, "Secret messages from a forbidden ex leaked." Another said backstage at VH1 the producers were fretting this wasn't the storyline they planned, and yet it was reality and the cameras weren't even rolling by nightfall. A private group chat among cast members had erupted. A comment from a specific co-star stated, "Yo, Erica really played the long game." Another chimed in, "Yandy about to tear the whole brand down if she drops that phone footage." However, no one had the whole image yet because Yandy hadn't revealed publicly that the texts were just the beginning. She had voice notes, screen recordings, bank receipts, and possibly even hotel surveillance footage. The only question now was what she was going to do with it. Mendeecees sat across from her, his hands clenched, attempting to plead with his eyes. Yandy stood up, no yelling, no cursing, just saying, "You need to leave tonight." He tried to reply, "Where am I supposed to go?" And she said, "Anywhere except here," and just like that, the mirage of the perfect pair, the love and hip-hop royalty, began to break apart. But little did anyone realize this was only the beginning. By the next morning, the internet was no longer asking questions. They were making conclusions, creating speculations, and dragging Mendeecees across every timeline like he was public property. Memes rushed in like a wave. Fans grabbed old episodes, slowed down footage. He followed her into the kitchen barefoot, clutching the same she returned the phone the night before. "Let me explain," he continued, his voice quivering. "Explain it to your reflection," she said without turning. He attempted to grasp for her hand, but she pulled away. Opening the fridge like he wasn't even there. "Nothing happened with Erica. He spoke too quickly. You know how she is. She twisted things." She closed the fridge, leaned against the counter, her eyes focused on his. "So all those texts she typed to herself." He paused, blinked twice. That half-second delay told her everything, and that's when she laughed, but not a laugh of amusement, the sort of laugh that ends in tears. "You know what hurts more than you lying?" she said. "It's that you were so lazy about it." Meanwhile, Erica's name was trending. She had gone utterly quiet. No posts, no stories, not even likes. Her last upload had vanished, deleted within seconds. Of followers started to spam it with rat emojis and baby bottle gifs. But fans weren't done digging. One particularly vicious site uploaded an anonymous note, purportedly from someone on Erica's staff, claiming she had proof the conversations were mutual and that Mendeecees had even promised to sort things through with her before baby number 2 arrived. Hidden meanings, timing, hints, and emoji codes. A fan slowed down an old interview where Erica uncomfortably stated being tired of raising children alone and said she rubbed her stomach at the 312 mark. Commenters shrieked. Was that the hint? The rumor mill suddenly had a new emphasis. Was Erica pregnant again? Was it Mendeecees' baby? And if so, had the producers known all along? Inside the VH1 headquarters, hysteria was in full force. Leaked Slack conversations revealed producers considering emergency filming days, flying in Erica for 10 and Erica for 1 confessionals, and even contacting Mendeecees directly for damage control. "He's not responding to emails," one producer stated. "His DMs are off. We can't track him. We'll lose the whole arc if this doesn't resolve. We need a hero edit for Yandy now." But Yandy wasn't interested in being anyone's hero. She was busy clearing out closets, packing her kids' bags, and making calls. Her cousin recorded her quietly saying over speakerphone, "If he wants to be with Erica, that is okay, but he will not do it while using my Wi-Fi or last name." Of course, the cousin published that clip muted with subtitles and a gospel track playing over it. Within minutes, it got 500,000 views before lunchtime. Erica's longtime friend, a stylist named Lena, who had been silent for years, stepped on a live and spilled even more. "I was there the night they hooked up," Lena claimed, curling her lip. It wasn't a reunion. It was at that rooftop after-party in Jersey. Yandy didn't arrive, but Erica wore that silver dress, remember? And just like that, the silver dress photo surfaced. Erica and Mendeecees standing close, smiling, slightly tipsy, and knowing someone in the rear had captured the scene on a Polaroid and published it months later. Behind-the-scenes film viewers compared timestamps, clothing, and post-party activities. One fan remarked Mendeecees was off social media for 36 hours after that party since he was in recuperation mode. Someone added, "At home, Yandy had ceased engaged." No comments, no statements. She was seen outside her child's school. She wore sunglasses and held a binder that the paparazzi dubbed the divorce dossier. A blurry shot of her strolling beside her sister went viral with the caption, "She's done." And she's taking the receipts with her. Mendeecees, on the other hand, went missing with no accounts or sightings. Even his barber tweeted, "Haven't seen my bro in a minute, stay strong." His last post remained undisturbed, an old family photo Mother's Day. But late that night, a new voice entered the story. Samantha, his ex, stepped up on live with a wine glass and no filter. "I'm not saying I'm happy about this," she began. "But let's be real. Some of us have been new." She continued for 15 minutes, admitting that Mendeecees had always had difficulties stating the truth and that some of these women think they transformed him. "But babe, you can't polish dirt." Comments blew up. "Pull him, sis. Tea piping hot." Samantha always knew some fans questioned her motivations, but others viewed her as the ghost of girlfriends past here to reinforce what Yandy was only now discovering. And as if the pandemonium couldn't get worse, Erica reactivated her profile with one single post. "Truth always wins. Wait on it." Yandy didn't answer, but her cousin posted a hazy photograph of a crumpled wedding photo placed on top a suitcase caption, "Some bonds don't break, they dissolved." And just as part 2 of this emotional circus came to a close, a new name began trending. A user claiming to be Erica's midwife joined the forum under an anonymous handle and posted, "Ask him who paid for the VIP delivery room." It was enough to make fans scream. If this is true, then Mans didn't just cheat, he supported the entire pregnancy like a ghost sponsor. And now that you've heard the truth, wait until you see what happens next. When secrets become threats and Yandy makes a move that alters everything. The comment section had hardly cooled down when the internet caught fire all over again. A user claiming to work part-time at a hotel uploaded blurry film. Fans paused, zoomed, and reversed what appeared to be Mans entering the building from a side door, wearing a sweatshirt and carrying a baby carrier. "Why is he cradling a baby at midnight?" one fan inquired, while another responded, "Because he knew if he went in by the front, someone would have filmed him again." The allegations were now irrefutable. The baby wasn't just relit, and Mendeecees wasn't just engaged, he was invested. While fans ran wild with theories, Erica played her next hand like a team member revealed to a blog that he was blindsided by Erica's pregnancy, alleging she refused to communicate through legal methods and utilized the public for revenge. Erica responded with a repost of an old message between them in which Mendeecees allegedly said, "Whatever you need, I got you. Just don't make me look crazy." The caption, "But you did that all by yourself?" And then came the twist no one expected. A former editor anonymously messaged site with claims that producers knew about Erica's pregnancy months before anyone else and sought to develop a covert storyline around it. The editor stated that sequences of Yandy reacting to weird behavior from Mendeecees had been filmed and shelved quietly since they didn't want her to find out on camera. But the drama was too excellent to erase totally, the editor commented. This ignited a fresh theory. Did the network try to play puppet master with these people's lives for better ratings? Fans demanded a statement. Some accused the network of abusing, others pleaded for the unpublished tape to be revealed. Yandy was subsequently spotted in New York departing a courthouse with her lawyer and sister, looking composed but aloof. She didn't wave at cameras, smile, or blink. Someone cried, "Yandy, is it true?" But she kept walking. An hour later, her cousin posted a single statement on Twitter. "The strength to walk away isn't easy, but it's necessary." People were crying in the comments, but Erica, she struck again, this time dropping a 3-minute teaser of what appeared to be a sit-down interview. Filmed in cinematic lighting with soothing music and close-ups of her wiping tears. She talked directly to the camera. "I never wanted this. But when you've been lied to and pushed aside, silence isn't power. It's suffocation," she continued. "He told me he loved me. He told me he wanted this baby. And when it got too loud, he ran back to safety." The video cut to black before the interviewer's question could even be heard. It was calculated, it was powerful, and it was devastating for Mendeecees' reputation. But here's where the plot thickened once more. Another woman, yes, a third woman, posted a TikTok claiming she too had messages from Mendeecees. She didn't say much, just read one purported message. Said, "It's hard pretending to be perfect. Thank you for being my escape." Fans couldn't believe it. This man got side quests we didn't even know about. Someone quipped, "But Yandy, but she didn't say anything. In that stillness, it was now louder than any confession Erica could post. Some fans suspected she was planning a complete legal move, while others said she was preparing for a public takedown via a podcast she'd been discreetly recording. What no one expected was what occurred next, because soon as drama escalated when an unknown Instagram account shared 3 images. One was the hospital wristband, one was a birth certificate, and the third was a DNA test reportedly signed by LHHATL, validated Mendeecees' 99.8% probability, and with that single post, everything erupted. And just like that, the quiet shattered louder than the secrets ever could. Yandy's world flipped. Erica's narrative gained center stage, and me, well, he lost the one thing he claimed to safeguard: his family's trust. What started as murmurs escalated into a full-blown social media earthquake. One hidden text became a chronology of treachery. One DNA test broke years of carefully cultivated image. The fans took sides, the blogs burst, and the internet, it kept receipts. But now the question isn't what happened, but what will happen next. Yandy finally speaks her truth. Will Erica drop the full voice memos? Is there another woman we haven't heard from yet? And what about the VH1 producers? Will they ever tell us what footage was truly left on the cutting room floor? This isn't just drama anymore. Full-fledged collapse of a reality TV business. And you've been seeing it develop in real time. If you made it this far, you're clearly here for the tea that burns hotter than Atlanta asphalt in July. So do yourself a favor, press the like button, slam, subscribe, and make sure your notifications are enabled, because the next bombshell could drop at 3 o'clock a.m. I'm on a Tuesday, and we'll be right here breaking it all down. Which side are you on? Is Yandy really done for good? Is Erica the villain or the victim? And if you believe Mendeecees is speaking the truth or simply running out of places to hide, keep in mind that in the world of love and hip-hop, the mess never sleeps. And neither do we. Stay petty, and we'll see you in the next Firestorm Storm confessionals, or even contact Mendeecees directly for damage control. He is not responding to emails. One producer wrote, his DMs are off, we can't track him. We'll lose the whole arc if this doesn't resolve. We need a hero. Edit for Yandy now. But Yandy wasn't interested in. She was busy clearing out closets, packing her children's bags, and making phone calls when her cousin secretly caught her saying over loudspeaker, if he wants to be with Erica, that's fine, but he won't do it while using my Wi-Fi or my His last post stayed unaltered, an old family photo from Mother's Day. But late that night, a new voice entered the story. Samantha, his ex, showed up on live with a wine glass and no filter. I'm not saying I'm happy with this, she started, but let's be real. Some of us were new. She proceeded for 15 minutes, disclosing that Mendeecees had always had trouble telling the truth and that some of these women believed they changed him. But baby, you can't polish dirt. Comments flew up. Drag him. Sis typing. Sexy Samantha always knew. Some fans questioned her motivations, but others viewed her as the ghost of girlfriends past coming to corroborate what Yandy was only now finding. And as if the pandemonium couldn't, Erica reactivated her profile with a single post. Truth always wins. Yandy did not comment, but her cousin did, posting a hazy photograph of a crumpled wedding photo placed on top of a suitcase with the remark, some bonds don't break, they dissolve. And just as part 2 of this emotional circus came to a close, a new name began trending. A user claiming to be Erica's midwife joined the forum under an anonymous handle and posted, ask him who paid for the VIP birthing suite. It was enough to fans cry that if this is real, means not only cheated, but also supported the entire pregnancy as a ghost sponsor. And now that you've heard the truth unraveled, wait to see what happens next. As secrets become threats and Yandy makes a move, that changes everything. The comment section had barely cooled down when the